Joseph Anthony Barton, otherwise known as Joey Barton. He's been the talk of Twitter, mainstream media. He's even been talks in the office that have been taking place about Joey Barton, of all people, because, of course, as we know, he's been making incendiary tweets about women and their position when it comes to punditry in the men's game. He questioned the legitimacy of Enia Luca and Lucy Award talking about men's football when it came to the FA Cup third round fixtures. And, of course, he even critiqued Mary Earps winning Sports Personality of the Year. Got everyone wading in and has people like me and you in the Punjabi vice grip. Shout out the great Carly. He was on Piers Morgan. He started a war of words with Gary Neville. And he even had the broadcaster ITV defending their broadcasters, Enia Luca and Lucy Ward, after Joey Barton compared them to the West serial killers. Now here's my take, and it might shock you. Joey Barton, you might have been right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Sani-That Sports Guy, talking all things sport with you guys. And of course, today, we need to speak about the Joey Barton fiasco. Now, you just heard me there say, I think he might have been right. We need to read between the lines. I don't agree with him comparing Enia Luca and Lucy Ward to serial killers. I don't agree with his take that women don't have a place in men's football. The thing that I agree with is what he actually said on Piers Morgan, and you need to read between the lines in terms of what he said. What he spoke about was tokenism, how he wants the best person for the job, and that's something that I deeply agree with. I believe in the meritocracy. I don't believe in nepotism. I don't believe in virtue signaling. I believe if you're the right person for the job, male or female, that you should be there, and I think that is what he's trying to get at. Joey Barton isn't stupid. He knows what works in this world, especially when it comes to social media. He knows that you and I would have reacted to what he said. And I think, obviously, what he said was derogatory. But unfortunately, he didn't articulate that well. And that's where the problem has arisen. You know, there are great women in men's football that I look up to. I mean, two of them, Alex Scott and Gabby Logan, I have huge amounts of respect and reverence for. A lot of what they do is something that I implement when it comes to presenting as well. Another person, Bianca Westwood, amazing at her job. More than qualified for what they do. But I think what Joey Barton's trying to get at is a tokenism and the virtue signalling that I think he does have a point about. And that's the thing. I don't think you should take everything that he says at face value. We all know Twitter is a place where we have people making outrageous remarks. And I think that's what he's got at here. He knows people would see what he tweeted and think, oh my God, he said this, let's react. He should always be the best person for the job. I'm speaking to you as this person as well. I'm not qualified to speak about men's football. I've never played football at the highest game. We all have an opinion, but I don't think I should be thrusted into the limelight even though I'm sat under one just because of what I look like and what I represent. I should be there because I have something to give. And I think that is what Joey Barton's trying to get at. He is trying to say that people such as Enia Luca and Lucy Ward, for example, shouldn't really be there just because of who they are, but because they've earned the right there. And I think that's what he's trying to get at. Of course, me and you might not be judges of that, but I think he's speaking more of a holistic perspective because of the society that we live in now. But I think that's where it kind of gets to, and that's where I think he's right. And that's why I said it, I think he's right. Everything else, I think crazy what he said. Very derogatory stuff that you wouldn't really want to be heard, especially as a woman that's looking to make it in the industry. Now, I'm speaking as someone who works in the finance industry, for example, where there aren't a host of women in there. It'd be great to see more women in there, but I think that is an aspect of equality of opportunity. It'd be great to see women have more opportunities in the industry, and I think that comes to the same when it comes to men's football, for example. But I don't necessarily agree with the quality of outcome. Now, although this isn't a Jordan Peterson podcast or any sort of well-being or lifestyle podcast, because of course it's a sports style of show, you know what I'm like. We don't speak about politics and that sort of thing when it comes to my platform. But it's something that's important, especially someone such as myself who's interested in speaking about sports. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. But I think having that equality of opportunity shouldn't really equate equality of outcome. That is the point that Joey Barton is getting at. And that's something that I actually agree with. People should be there because they've earned the right and they're the best person for the job. And just to reiterate as well his points about Lucy Ward and Enia Luca being serial killers, again, he's done that for a reason. He knows it would garner a reaction. I vehemently disagree with that. How can you compare two pundits to serial killers? They're not killing the game just because they have an opinion. Yes, they deserve criticism if they've said something that isn't really right or what is being seen on TV, just like a male counterpart would. The other problem that Joey Barton inevitably has, other than his incendiary remarks, is the fact that his reputation precedes himself. We all know what Joey Barton is like, not only on Twitter, but also in his life as well. I'm not going to get too much into it. I'll leave you guys to do a bit of research as well. But we all know what he's like. So if you know what he's like and you're giving him more airtime, if anything, it's going to exasperate the derogatory remarks that he's made. Yes, although the meaning, if you look deeper, is something that I actually do agree with, and I think many of you would agree with, about the meritocracy and being the best person for the job. But he's sort of amalgamated that into him being quite derogatory in terms of what he said, which means a lot of people don't actually agree with what he said, me being one of them, because it is very offensive what he said. What he's saying is, if you're a woman, you basically have no place to speak about the men's game, which I don't agree with. I haven't even played football at the highest level. Would that disqualify me for speaking about football or any other sport? But because of his past, effectively what he's saying now is very much tainted. If you do speak to a lot of people when it comes to football, a lot of them will actually read what Joey Barton says and actually look away. If you look a bit deeper and read between the lines, what he's saying could hold some credence. But that inevitably is where the line is drawn when it comes to Joey Barton. Let me know your thoughts, though, on the Joey Barton fiasco. Do you think he was right in terms of what he said? Do you think my take in terms of the meritocracy and the best person for the job in terms of reading between the lines is something that he probably should have went down the path of instead of being very incendiary? Please let me know your thoughts. I'd love to have a conversation. Also, drop a message in the DMs. Let's have a chat about it. I'm always ears. I'm always interested in hearing different perspectives as well. Because at the end of the day, it's a community. But for now, guys, peace.